How is third-person omniscient POV kept consistent? Imagine having a camera that can see everything happening in a story, from what each character is thinking to what might happen next. That's what third-person omniscient point of view allows you to do as a writer. But keeping this broad view clear and steady can be tricky. If you switch perspectives too often or change the narrator's tone, readers can get confused. So, how do you maintain a consistent voice and perspective throughout your story? First, remember that the third-person omniscient narrator is not a character in the story. It's an all-knowing voice that observes everything. This narrator can comment on what characters think or feel, but it should do so in a way that feels natural and purposeful. To keep it consistent, decide early on what tone your narrator will have. Will they be formal, humorous, or neutral? Sticking to that tone helps keep the story unified. Next, avoid jumping abruptly between characters' thoughts or feelings. While the omniscient narrator can access multiple minds, transitions should be smooth and clear. For example, focus on one character's perspective for a scene or a chapter. When you want to switch to another character, do it gradually or with a clear signal so readers aren't left guessing. This approach keeps the flow steady and the perspective clear. It's also important to balance insights into different characters. The narrator should give fair and even-handed information about each person. If one character's thoughts are overemphasized, it might feel like the story is shifting toward a limited point of view. Keep your narrator objective and avoid favoring one character over others unless it's a deliberate choice. Maintaining distance from the characters is another key. The narrator observes and comments but doesn't experience events firsthand. This distance helps preserve the all-knowing quality. When revealing characters' thoughts, make sure it feels like an informed observation rather than a direct transmission from their minds. Using descriptive language and background information is a useful tool. The omniscient narrator can provide details characters don't know or haven't discovered yet. But be careful not to overload the reader with too much backstory or detail all at once. Reveal only what's necessary to move the story forward, and trust the reader to fill in the gaps. Practicing writing scenes with this approach helps you get comfortable with switching perspectives smoothly. Reading classic stories that use third-person omniscient, like those by Leo Tolstoy or George Eliot, can give you good examples. During revisions, check for any unintentional shifts in tone or perspective. Make sure each transition makes sense and keeps the narrative voice steady. One common challenge is making the story feel immediate while using a narrator who is distant. To fix this, use vivid descriptions and emotional depth to draw readers in, even from a broad perspective. Also, avoid giving away too much information at once. Reveal character thoughts and backstory gradually, so the story stays engaging and easy to follow. In summary, keeping third-person omniscient point of view consistent involves a steady narrative voice, careful management of perspective shifts, and a balance between revealing character thoughts and maintaining the narrator's observational role. Focus on these elements, and you'll be able to craft stories that are clear, engaging, and rich with detail. Practice these techniques, study good examples, and your ability to write with this POV will grow stronger with each story you tell.